Go Tracker! Go Flat Tracker! Go, go, go! The Kelpie Flat Track Pod is brought to you by our partners, Euroka Fencing, for all your raw fencing needs. ShredDesign.co for the sickest jersey prints in the biz. Classic wheels and spokes and Otway hydroblasting, bringing any project back to new. Kelpie Flat Track products, keeping you on track for longer. Let's get into the episode. Yeah, so I'm here with Tom Northey once again. Thanks for joining us, Northey. You were just saying off here how flat chat you are, so I appreciate it. You went to an event that I couldn't get to, so you said to me last time that if there's any events that I can't get to and that you're at, you'd be happy to come and do a recap. So that's what we're doing, a recap of the New South Wales track titles. How was it?
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. I really enjoyed doing the last one and definitely been looking forward to this one. Yeah, on the weekend we went to the New South Wales State Track Championships presented by Australian Power Sports and Outdoor. It was a fantastically run event. The track was pretty demanding, difficult, technical, but everyone had to run the same track. But it was definitely challenging. But we had a bit of fun.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to pull up on maps to have a look at the track, but I saw a bit of video online. Is it sort of like a D shape, or is it quite round, or describe that for us?
Well, the dirt track sort of is, it goes down and around and sort of back onto itself and sweeping around. So that's pretty much cut out the right-hander in the center of the track and had that just cutting down and around towards the bottom corner. So, yeah, it was pretty much like a D shape, but it did flow well, but you had to have your lines real particular to sort of be really fast around there. There was a few guys taking different particular lines, but it was sort of, you could see where the fast guys were going, and that's pretty much what everyone aimed for at the end of the day.
Yeah, on the footage, it looked like there was, I'm not sure if it's the tyre wall or a wall. The person that was filming was opposite, on the left-hand side of the start gates, I think. So is that the back? You would call that the back straight, I guess?
Well, that was
where the TT jump was. Yeah,
you probably could call that the back straight. That's sort of where it come around to where the finish was sort of right next to the starting gate. So it sort of come around along the pits and then back down again towards turn one. So yeah, where the TT jump was, you could sort of call it the back straight, but it was kind of sort of two straights like that went into like that, and then it sort of swept around and joined those two together. So it was it was definitely a D shape, and that was a bit to try and get my head around as well, being a passenger. So yeah, that was a bit hard.
And was it wide enough to make passes on the sidecar and that sort of thing, or it was pretty much get the whole shot and hold the position?
There was a few places where you probably could stick a wheel up, probably going into that tight sort of left-hand right-angle turn. But if you could sort of get up and inside of someone coming around that big sweeping bend down towards turn one, you probably can make a pass. But round the outside definitely wasn't the move if you were giving it a go on a sidecar. A couple of guys did it on solo if they had a good runner in the outside, but yeah, on a sidecar you sort of had to get in the inside of someone and stand your spot really.
Yeah, so we actually totally bypassed what track it was at.
Sorry, Cops Harbour Motorcycle Club.
Where's that? Is that along the coastline or something? Or
I think that's mid-north coast of New South Wales. I think it's an hour north of Kempsey. I'm sure. I think it's about 6 hours north of Sydney. I think it took us just under 6 hours to get there. So yeah, it wasn't too bad of a drive, but yeah, it's a bit of a trek.
So the reason I was asking is something we don't talk about a lot is about geographical location of our tracks, and then obviously what the weather does, and like some places are more humid, so tracks dry out, well, stay moist. Some places are drier, and like up at Mildura and that. But the great thing about it, Mildura, is it's racing at night time, so the moisture all comes back up, and it's nice and consistent. But so little bit inland, pretty dry there, or?
It's on the Coffs Harbour's on the coast. The track the track held moisture. The TT track, when they ran the 19 class on that, was obviously only one class per round was running on it, so that was a little less water on it, but that held up pretty well. The guys were fairly fast on that and consistent on that too. But yeah, the rest of the track, it was there was sort of some spots in the shade, some spots in the sun. So obviously the parts in the shade are going to stay a little more damp than the ones in the sun. But yeah, it was definitely a technical track, one of the most technical tracks I think I've ever ridden on. And yeah, definitely would like to get a solo out there and yeah, give it a test. That's for sure.
So at the track titles, you were only on the sidecar. You didn't get on two wheels.
No, I was thinking about putting the 19s in my 450 and entering that class, and then coming to the lead up onto it. I sort of spoke to Jobbo, which is the rider, and said to him, "Well, I might do the 19s class," and he was keen to do it as well on his 250. And then he's like, "Oh, they've got a TT, which is a jump," and I said, "Yeah, well, that's what a TT is." And he's like, "Oh, maybe I'll just stick to the sidecar." And he sort of looked at me, hoping I'd agree with him, and I thought, "Oh, well, it is a title meeting, and we wanted to do very well." But so I thought, "Oh, we'll focus on that. So maybe next time out there, I'll grab the 450 and yeah, try and add another number to the grid."
Yeah, awesome. And so, how did you go? Did you guys succeed?
No, we actually had a very disappointing and miserable weekend, which is everyone always has one of those. And, unfortunately, that weekend was was definitely one that I'm going to try not to remember. That's for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but other than that, we come out of it, yeah, unscathed. We didn't finish the first or last race. It was over rounds because there was only 6 of us, so the championship was over rounds. But yeah, it's just one of those things when you start getting mechanicals and things like that. If one thing's going to happen, 10 things are going to happen. So
yeah. So that was the issue.
Yeah. The first race we spat a chain, and then had another coolant leak, which a bit upsetting. And then we ran the second and third race and got third in both of those, so we were pretty happy about that. And then Jobbo was saying that he's thinking the clutch is starting to go, and I thought straight away, oh no, this is not going to be good. And then went off the gate in fourth race and just it barely moved. So we just pulled off the track, and then that was up for the weekend.
Yeah, what a shame. Yeah. It's especially like you say at a title meeting, that's obviously when you want everything to go smoothly. But yeah, we'll cop those big titles. I think 2019, 2018, I had a clutch issue too, and actually still did not too bad considering. But I thought I was going really fast, but I was just making lots of noise.
Yeah, we didn't. We had an issue like that at Tamworth at the end of last year, and as soon as it started doing it, I just looked up to him and said, like, there's no point revving the guts out of it trying to get it to move when it's not going to tow us around.
Yeah, it's not grabbing. Yeah.
No.
So I did see some of the footage from the 19-inch class. It was all mobile phone footage, which was awesome to see, but it was a little bit hard to tell exactly what was going on. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't fantastic either. Well, like broadcast quality or anything. But dude out the front, who was that? Was that
the guy
Liam? Someone was it?
I can't remember his name. I wasn't too familiar with him, but Reed. If I brutalise your name, mate, I really apologise. Reed Batye. He was the one, number 33. He was the one who got the win, and he was actually very, very smooth. And he definitely had some style. And even over the jumps, he sort of just wasn't hitting them and launching them. He sort of had like a consistent style that sort of flicked over it, landed, and as he landed, he was in the right position to sort of capitalise by hitting the throttle and smoothly transitioning into that turn. So that was really good to see. It was very, very definitely a smooth rider.
Yeah, and was he the one did he win all the races in the 19-inch class, or was there someone else battling with him?
No, I only saw the last two because obviously we bowed out in round 4, so I quickly got changed, packed everything up and ran on the hill to see as much racing as I could. But as far as I saw, he was out in front for those 2 races, and he took the overall win in the end, and that was over rounds 2. So I'm guessing that he went very well in the first 3 as well.
Yeah, it looked like a nice jump too, actually. I don't really like the TTs when they're just like a little ski jump or something. I think, a medium tabletop's awesome for a TT, so,
Yeah,
how do you say it? Peoria in America, I don't mind that one. That's a bit of a ski jump, but it's
yeah, that's a different ball game. That is, you
a
sort of
bit of
hit
it.
that one on an angle to get the right positioning for the turn there.
Yeah, I don't mind that sort of technical weird stuff, but just a silly little, shin high sort of job. I think what's the point? You may as well not have it. But
Yeah,
that jump looked like a decent jump and looked like it tested the riders out. So
there was actually three sort of off the. They started away from the starting grid. They started a bit further down, so it was a traditional straight line dirt start, flag start, and then their turn one was sort of halfway down the front straight, and they turned in and went over a roller, then went around the right hander, and then they sort of come back around the tight left hander, and then sort of jumped up, and they sort of went down, then jumped off again, and went. So there was three jumps you could sort of call it, but there was one sort of roller, then there was another two into one, which it looked pretty good. It was where we were sitting, that was sort of coming along this way, so yeah, it looked pretty good. The way they had that laid out.
and did they get to do the oval or D-shaped track as well, or it was only the TT for the 19s?
No, it was only the TT for the 19s in that class. I'm not sure if any of the riders on 19s did do the any other classes on them, but that's all they did in that class.
And I'm guessing that was a support class here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, at the end of it, I think there was all up. There was what's that for? 12 all up, I think, entered that one. So, as far as I knew, I think 12 can be classed as a championship class if it's down in the format. But that was a support class. That was.
Yeah, okay. So you said you're pretty prepared. You've got some notes there and stuff. What have you got for us? Like, what did you write down?
Throughout every class, we'll sort of try to write down who the guys that were sort of moving through the pack and trying to get to the front, and then guys that were consistent out the front as well, and maybe a couple of spills and just a few things that sort of caught my eye through the two rounds that I did get to look at, and that's pretty much all I've got written down. Like I've written it all down in the program down the bottom, if you can kind of see it. And tried to sort of put up who was battling who and whatnot, and
awesome.
it was kind of something different. Normally, I'd be sitting on the hill with a can of rum watching the racing, but to sit there and watch all that was it was definitely different for me. But no, I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, commentator's notes, I would call that. That's what my programs look like at the end when I commentate. There's just shit written everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got a program I always keep every event that I do that goes on the trophy cabinet. But yeah, this one's definitely got scribbled through it, so I think I'll just keep that in the archives for the future reference if need be.
Yeah, cool. So do you want to tell us how many classes were there, and then maybe just start going through them with your notes?
Well, they had had a 50 demos class, and I think there was all up in that. There was there were 6 in that one as well, and they were having. You could see they were having an absolute ball. So the future of dirt track is definitely there, and hopefully these kids keep into it and make it definitely interesting. The kid that stood out the most, I'm trying to think. I couldn't really see his number because he had the like glitter graphics sort of on his bike. But I think it was at number 20. And like I said, I do apologise if I do butcher anyone's name because some of them I was reading and I'm like, I don't think I can pronounce that. But the young fella was Nixon Bain Drain. That's how it's pronounced. Again, I am sorry. And he was, you can see he was out there just wringing the neck. He was actually having an absolute ball. And would be good to see a lot more kids out there having a go, but it was good to see the numbers that were there.
Yeah, awesome. So what was next? So that was the junior.
Sorry, that was the 50 demos. I'll go. Oh yeah, I think it is in order here. The next was the over 30. Sorry.
They would have been like Pee-wee 50s and all that sort of stuff. Were there any little KTMs going around, or?
Yeah, I think there was one KTM 50, and that young fellow was on a Husky.
Yeah.
50, I think they are. So yeah, he was definitely had that on the button. He was flying. It was
sweet. Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there. What was next?
Next was the over 35s, and they they were they were fast. But them guys, I'm turning 35 at the end of the year, so I sort of tried to scope out who I'm going to be battling against next year if I decide to, well, step up into that class, if you could call it. But yeah, that was really good. There was yeah, some very fast riders there. Ben Gordon got the win in that. He was very consistent and he was fast. Kenny Angel got second, and Darren Webb rounded out the podium. Them three were really, really consistent. But in the end, I think there was only six or seven that was left into it. I'm not 100% sure why. Yeah, why that was, but yeah, I think there was 12 that started, but yeah, not many finished the fourth or final round. It was not sure why that was, but yeah, there was definitely still a healthy field, and yeah, good racing in that as well.
Yeah, you're not over 35 yet. That's your answer.
Uh,
That, that's what it was. They're
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
they're going, oh, I'm knackered. I've had enough.
Oh yeah, well, that's for sure. Yeah, even doing multiple races and things like that as well. But yeah, no, they actually they did really well. That was yeah, it was good to see that class steaming along. That's for sure.
It's funny actually. I saw Darren Webb put a post about because at the moment you can make comments on the rules and that for MA if anyone's interested in doing that, you can have a look through and then suggest rule changes and that sort of stuff. And he was actually talking about the over 35s class, if there should be, an over 50s, over 45s, that sort of
Yeah,
scenario. Because 35, look, if you're fast, you're fast. I think age is irrelevant, really. But I guess the other side of it is that a lot of guys will come back into racing in their later years, and that's where it can get a bit. You're sort of going, oh shit, this 35-year-old, he's he's hammering, he's still young and fit. But
I know a lot of 35-year-olds that are definitely very fast and still competitive today in the 450 and open class. So yeah, hopefully I don't line up against them, but at least it's someone to ride against it for sure.
Oh, look, I think, a lot of those, like I'm 46 and, race multiple classes. And if I don't think I'm up to it, I won't do it. But yeah, I think, it sort of makes you feel younger and keeps you pushing harder when you race those young guys. And yeah, I haven't been lapped, but
Yeah.
if I'm starting to get lapped all the time, then I might go, let's have an over.
Yeah, that's right. I do want
And
to correct myself quickly. I think second place was Tim Darmody overall. Sorry, I've definitely, I think I've got that wrong. But yeah, Benjamin Gordon was first, Tim Darmody was second, and Darren Webb was third.
yeah,
In
okay.
that one, yeah. So next was the Pro Women's Championship. There was 10 of them all up. And I think as well that slowly started to go down too. I did see they were before us in our heats, and I did see a big crash on Saturday in one of them. So I think a couple of them are bowed out of the championship after that. Not sure if it was due to bike or due to injury, but I hope them girls are all right because that did look like a pretty gnarly crash down in the turn one. But yeah, Brioni Hendrickson got the win on that one. Where are we? Sorry. Second was Charnel Sipple, and third was Ashley Bates. Congratulations to those girls. They rode really well, and it's good to see a grid or almost a grid of girls showing up to all the events and keeping that class going.
Yeah, do you know any of those riders? I've seen Brioni at the Aussie Titles and or where else, it might have been Gunnedah or somewhere like that. I've seen her around, but I'm not familiar with the second place getter and third place getter's names. Do you know them at all?
No, I have seen Charnel Sipple at Tamworth. I think she's from around that way, and one of the other girls there, Gemma Bossato, she's one of my friends as well. I think she might have had an accident and not competed on the Sunday, but yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know who Ashley Bates is, but yeah, she definitely was a good rider, and yeah, congratulations on getting third place.
Yeah, do you have any lap times or anything? I had a look on my laps and I couldn't find it on there.
No, they didn't run transponders in that event. That was all manual lap scoring. That was. I've only got the results that they've posted and sort of what I've got written down. So yeah, unfortunately, no, I don't have lap times.
No, that's all cool. Yeah, I love lap time, so just thought I would ask.
Yeah, well, it's good to see a comparison of how fast you're going and how fast the girls are going, but sometimes I don't really want to look to. Yeah, I don't want to kill the ego too much.
Oh no, just yeah, I don't know. You can just, I suppose, do that comparison. You can look at the 450 class. It does help you develop. If you see like what, I'm not going to be a spoiler, but like Whale or any of the other sort of fast guys in Australia, if you can have a look at their time and go, oh yeah, I've got 2 seconds that I need to find, or stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to be up there, I just find that a good. Good motivation would be the word,
Yeah.
So, that's why I like the MyLap stuff. I just think it gives you an idea of how far behind you really are. If you're dreaming, obviously tracks and location and all that change everything a bit anyway. But you're racing the same track on the day, I suppose. So
That's it. Yeah, that's right.
So, girls, who'd we go to next?
The next was the sidecars. Unfortunately, there was only 6 of us that showed up, but there was that still made it a title. It was good racing at the front there. We were trying to be all a part of it, and we were fairly close, but it just definitely wasn't getting off the line and wasn't up there far enough to contend for the win. That's for sure. But first place was Jared Marco and Sean Fuller. Second place was Corey Ford and Darren Frudenstein. And third place was Sam O'Mealy and Brendan Denzel. And I was really impressed with Sam, how she is riding. I think Sam and Brendan have only been a combination for, I'm pretty sure it's only this season, or might have been a little bit longer. But yeah, she rode really well, and she definitely had a challenge on her hands, but she come through and she did fantastically.
Yeah, were they racing at Bathurst?
Yeah, they were. Yep.
Yeah. I think
all of them were. Yeah, all 3 guys at the front there were. I'm trying to think if the other guys were as well. I'm not sure if Michael Gardner was, but no, there was one Queenslander that come down, and he was out there having a ball as well. But that was the top 3 for the sidecars.
Yeah, cool. And so the young trio from Queensland, what's their name? They I know they had a really good run at Gunnedah, and I've seen them somewhere else where they were smashing it too. Might have been
the crew that come down from Queensland was Aaron Morgan and Roden Jacobs on the 170 machine.
Oh, okay.
I think the team you're talking about is Troy Pritchard and Ethan Wade on the 1 machine from Queensland.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah. They weren't there?
No, they didn't make it to that one. I think there's a few meetings that are really close up. So I think some are missing some to make others. So yeah, unfortunately you can't beat every single one of them. So yeah, I think that's why they didn't get down there.
Yeah, we were in Mildura at the same time, and on the Saturday night, and there was I think there was 4 or 5 sidecars there, so would have been good if they came up and joined you.
Yeah. Well, we don't get many sidecars from down south sort of come up our way to go racing. It's more predominantly in New South Wales, but any interstate riders that come up, they're more than welcome, and we try and accommodate them the best we can. But it was good to see that they made the effort and come down. I'm pretty sure they got 4th overall. So yeah, congratulations to them.
Yeah, it makes the trip worth it. So what did we have after the sidecars?
After sidecars, there was the ATV 450, and where we got it? Sorry, it's just jumbled all over here.
No, all good.
First place was Matthew Griffiths. Second place was Chevy Green, and third place was Jeffrey McKee. And there was 2 grids of those guys. And
you're kidding, 2 grids?
Yeah, they run 6 on a grid each. So yeah, there was 12 of them, and it was definitely.
That's still a good turnout.
Yeah. All the Talder meetings and open meetings, you see them come out and have a go. So that was fantastic to see as well.
Yeah, ATVs or four wheelers or whatever you want to call them, we don't really get down here.
Okay.
I've seen a couple come to practice days every now and then, but it's been a long while. Actually, funnily enough, when I wasn't at the Harley Club practice day a couple of months ago, apparently there was one there then. But there was one at Undera, but they're the only two I've heard of in like the last, I don't know, 10 years or something.
Yeah,
Last
right.
8 years.
Okay. Yep.
Been a long time. It'd be good to see them come back because they're pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, definitely. They're always when they come out in numbers, and they were definitely faster in that track. That was for sure.
Is that something you would give a crack?
No, not really. It's not sort of in my interest. Four wheelers. I sort of like to stick on either the sidecars or a 450 or a 250. It's not sort of something I've always looked into.
Yeah, me neither. They're too expensive for a start.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Yeah.
Generally, anyway, the ones I have looked at in the past, and I thought, what's the point of getting one if no one else turns up with one down here?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Yeah, you'd be out on the track on your own.
Yeah, which, I guess I'd have lots of trophies.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it wouldn't be short of a win.
So after the 450 ATV,
actually, can we pause for 1 sec, Darcy, if you don't mind? Just 2 seconds.
Yeah, go for it.
Just give me 2 seconds.
So while Tom's just out of the room for the moment, why don't we take a quick moment to say thanks to our partners once again: Euroka Fencing, ShredDesign.co, Classic Wheels and Spoke, Otway Hydro Blasting. All right, so we're back. Where were we? I've forgotten now.
The next class here was the MX Open, and there were 5 grids in the MX Open, and there was definitely some good racing. It was good to see Luke Richards back out on a bike. He's 34-time Australian champion, and he was definitely fast in his heyday. But I didn't get to see a hell of a lot of him this weekend. I'm not sure if I just wasn't paying attention close enough or whatever else, but it was good to see him out there again. And I want to give a massive shout out to you've got him here, number 270. And then again, I do apologise if I butcher your name. His name's Seth Kolashevsky. He was fast and consistent all weekend, outstanding, to be honest. And himself and Kaishan Will had a moment in, I think it was round 3, where they sort of clipped bars, and Kaishan went down and he clattered into the fence, probably the hardest that I've ever really seen anyone do it. And I'm glad to see him get up and off the track. And unfortunately, Kaishan got disqualified for that race. And but Seth actually got back on the bike in the restart after a heavy hit like that and won the restart. So that was insane to see, which unfortunately put Kaishan into the repechage. But that definitely didn't slow him down for the rest of the day, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so action-packed.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely was. There was a fair few bingles, and I dare say it'd be the combination of sort of tricky track conditions, and obviously you've got the fastest riders in the state smashing handlebars together and trying to get the edge on each other. So things like that are always going to happen. But in the end, Kaishan Will got the win in the final. Bailey Spencer got second, and Jacob Richardson, he rode very, very well for third. So congratulations to those guys. You had a very stacked field. And some very, very fast riders to contend with. So, well done. Well done for that.
So, Kaishan Will, as we know, it's from Queensland. Second and third were from New South Wales. What about the rest of the field? Was there quite a few people from out of state, or?
Yeah. I'm just trying to have a look down sort of through the list here. Not a hell of a lot of interstate riders. There was I think there was a handful, but I think majority of them from New South Wales. And I apologise if you weren't from New South Wales and you raced in that class, but as far as I know, it was a lot from New South Wales.
You don't have to apologise, mate. You're doing this out of love, so they should be grateful that you're even doing this for us. So really good. Yeah, I don't think that was the. No, it was the 450 final I watched, and yeah, looked pretty intense. And believe there was 5 heats in that as well. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you want me to jump to that one, that's the very last one. That's the premier class. If you want me to jump
Uh,
straight to that,
that was
or
my
go through
lead.
the list.
Yeah, that was my lead. And
Oh yeah, right.
I
Yeah,
just, I,
yeah. The 450 class was pretty much you have the same riders that ride the MX Open and the Pro 450 at the same time, and that was just as equally as stacked. And yeah, it was very interesting. Some riders sort of went very well on the MX Open, and some riders excelled in the Pro 450. So that was interesting to see. But I think that all comes down to grids and who you're up against and track position and stuff like that. But Kyshon Wheel again got the win on that. He didn't do it easy. Daniel Wicks got the whole shot, and Kyshon sort of had to come around him, but he did that well. And yeah, Daniel Wicks was second, and Cody Lewis, he did very very well. He's a very fast rider, and yeah, he took the tricky conditions like a duck to water, and yeah, he had the throttle on pretty much 90% of the whole way around. So that was very good to see.
yeah, so he'd be happy. He's from Curry, isn't he?
Not 100% sure, but yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Pretty sure he is. So when you were saying tricky track conditions, what was so tricky about it?
There was it sort of blue grooved on the inside of the sweeping turn down towards sort of the start gates of turn one, and there was sort of I wouldn't so much call it as a cushion, but it was sort of a bit of a dirt forming on the outside of that. But you saw a lot of riders sort of would ride that, and they'd sort of stick their back tyre into the dirt, build up onto the fence to try and get a launch down the straight there.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of riders that were doing it and getting great drive, but there was a couple of riders that sort of dipped to the fence a bit earlier and sort of wasn't expecting how hard to hit it. And yeah, I definitely saw Dave Smith from Central Coast hit it about maybe 10 meters too early, and yeah, saw him up out of the seat, and yeah, I think he come back in the pit. And, yeah, he's definitely a bit white-faced after that. But yeah, hats off to him for holding on to it, because he sort of slammed into that pretty hard. But yeah, he still finished the race, and I think he still got a pretty decent position as well.
Right, so it got pretty thin, the surface then, and it must have been quite hard pack if it was sort of grooving up a bit.
Yeah, there were some places where it was loose, and there were some places where it sort of went a little bit harder. But with the shadows sort of covering half the track and it's sunny the other half, the guys from Cost Harbour Motorcycle Club did a fantastic job. And with what they had like multi rollers and water carts and whatnot. I think Dean King was in the water cart, and he's a rider as well, so he understands the aspects of sort of what track conditions are ideal, or all the best track conditions to make everything safe and have ideal racing. So it was good to have him in there, yeah, helping out the club and getting it done.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, sounds like a good event. And I saw too, they had the flags around, so it looked like they created a bit of atmosphere. Was there any market tents or anything like that? People selling product or?
Not that I saw. I sort of didn't get a chance to wander around a hell of a lot. Even on the Sunday, I sort of tried to pick a prime spot to get the good viewing of the whole track. But I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think there was, if anything. But yeah, there was definitely marketing for APO, which were the presenters of the race meeting, and there was flags and other advertising for all the other people sponsoring classes. But I personally didn't sort of see anyone selling products and things like that. And I do apologise if you guys were. I just, yeah, I might have just been walking with my head in the air, that's all.
And commentating, there was commentating?
Yeah, I'm shocking with I can't remember his name, but he normally does most of the events there, and there was a commentator there, sort of calling out the races and narrating them as they went along as well. And yeah, that was good. That was good to hear, because you could sort of what you couldn't see on the track, which wasn't a hell of a lot, but the commentator would call out names and numbers, and you sort of got an idea of who was who and who was battling against who. It was great.
Yeah, I love commentating. It's one of my gripes with track days. I know it's not. I mean, there's always people standing around, and I'm sure someone could put their hand up and do it. Like, it just creates that atmosphere and entice spectators to come along. Like at Broadford, we get people come, especially if there's a road day on at the road track, they'll come over and have a watch. And they're just watching bikes go around. It may as well be a practice day,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's why I started putting my hand up when I was injured and putting it on. And yeah, all of a sudden there's 20 cars on the hill, So I think it actually makes a big difference to a club day, and you will get people come out for it, especially if they can hear what's going on. Like you say, very basic info. Most clubs will write down in programs like a rider when they fill it, especially if they use transponders, fill out their sponsors and that sort of thing. You just say, real simple stuff. Let's go Steve McQueen, and he's riding for, Peter's Panel Beaters or something like that. I don't know,
exactly
off the top of my head. And it just, I don't know, it gives people something to listen to and a bit of interest. And then when they come next time, they might go, oh, that dude Steve was going awesome. I'll watch out for him, It starts creating a bit of a following,
Yeah, the commentator was calling out all the riders. I'm pretty sure he was calling out all the riders all the way down to even some of the back markers as well. He was calling their names out and things like that, which is good because you sort of get when you're looking at the program, you get a visual as well of the person and who is on the bike too, and sort of get one of those like sort of name to face sort of thing to pick up. And at the end of it, if you really like the person riding and you found out their name, you can go on the pits and say good day and say, well, you did really well. It was really great to watch your race, or even just things like that. But yeah, no, you're right. I do enjoy race meetings a lot more when there's someone commentating, especially when the commentator's got a bit of personality and a bit of hype behind him, and something happens like two guys bang bars and they go, oh, look at them going at it, and then sort of see everyone put their head up and get sort of more interested and more involved in the racing in front of them.
Yeah, it's as soon as, like, say you're down in the pits, and if there's no commentating, as soon as the crowd all go, oh, everyone runs to the fence. Have you ever noticed that? Commentator
I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah, commentator has the same effect, in my opinion. But he's doing it repetitively and in the moment. So yeah, I think it really does bring something to racing. And if people are willing to put their hands up, go for it. It's a lot of fun, actually. It kept me, especially if you're a fallen rider, it keeps you in the same group of people, because you get there, you take a few notes, and you get your program so you know what's going on and all that sort of stuff. Another promo there, was that Send It? Can to Send It?
No, there's a couple more.
I've got to give him a call. After our last one, I'm going, I've got to give that. It was Dave, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, I've got to give Dave a call, but not making excuses because I've just got to make the time. But I've honestly have been flat chat, working days and nights lately, and I've got nights off for the next week or so. So that's why I thought, let's catch up and get this done. And I want to do it. Want to do the Mildura recap and then from Appin, I've still got a few guys that said they were keen to. I've got to chase them up as well, so we'll try and get a few more pods out in the next couple of weeks, which will be awesome.
That sounds great.
Obviously, that was a seniors track title, wasn't it? No junior classes, or was there a support?
Yeah, there was a couple of junior support classes. Obviously, the demos, and there was also the 85 9s to under 13s, and the other one was 65 9 to 7 to 9s, and then 65 9 to 13s as well. So they were the other junior support classes. And over 35s, ATV 450s, flat track twins, junior 250 combined, as well. The pre-90s and the flat track 19s were all support classes.
Yeah, okay. So, it would have filled the day out. That's quite a few classes still.
Yeah, it was definitely a stacked day. I'm not exactly, I think it was 120. Actually, no. How much does it say here? 122 races, I think there might have been throughout the weekend.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was definitely still a stacked race meeting, that's for sure. There wasn't any shorter racing.
Yeah, so definitely good that it was over 2 days, eh? Because trying to stack that into one day would have been huge.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this weekend we've got the New South Wales Classic title, post Classic and Classic titles, and post Classics on the Saturday and Classics on the Sunday. So that's definitely going to be two stacked days of racing with the amount of classes that's available for those as well. So yeah, that'd be very interesting for sure.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about off air before, is that you're getting bikes ready and graphic kits put on, and so what's the bike that you're racing there?
I'm racing a 385 dirt track sidecar, which used to be my Uncle Bob's sidecar. He's rest in peace. He's passed away a couple of years ago, and the engine I have in there is a GPZ 1000, which actually used to be another friend of my dad's, Peter Schumacher, and he also passed away earlier this year. So it's going to be good to have the bike out there with a bit of piece of both of them on it, and I've got my mate Kaishan, which normally swings for Bo Briley. He's going to jump on the side, and yeah, we're going to give it a red hot crack. I was into a practice day in Nepean a couple of weeks ago, and there was definitely a healthy field of sidecars out there having a run. So, yeah, hopefully everyone shows up and has a great weekend, and yeah, we get all full grids of sidecars, and we can make them all a title.
Yeah, that's awesome. And is that at Nepean, is it?
Yeah, it's at Nepean Raceway in Castlereagh, New South Wales. So
Yeah,
just
okay.
about 20 minutes north of Penrith.
Yeah, right. And is that a similar surface to what you were on this last weekend just gone?
Yeah, fairly similar. Nepean Raceway is my home track. It's still like a dolomite granite surface. It's a lot longer of a track. I think it's about 720 meters long, and yeah, it's definitely a fast track. So I've got a 2001 YZ 125. I'll be doing the period 20 125 and 250s, and I've got a pre 85 250. I'll do the pre 85s 250 and pre 90 250s as well. So I
Yeah,
think
awesome.
throughout the weekend, the way I looked at it, I've got 6 classes per round. So yeah, I'm going to be wrecked by the end of it, but hopefully it all works out.
Hold on, say that again. You're going to be competing in 6 classes per round.
Yeah, yeah.
How many classes are in a round?
I don't have the list right in front of me. They did. Penrith Motorcycle Club did put it up there. I might be able to find exactly what class.
Sounds like you're going to be doing sounds like you're going to be doing a few back to back.
Here, for the post classic, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 classes.
Okay,
And,
yeah, right.
yeah, I'll be in 6 of them because I've got a pre 85 and a pre 95 sidecar class. So I entered both of them to get the numbers up, and on the Sunday there'd be a pre 75 sidecar class. So unfortunately, I can't go into that one, but yeah, it's good to see. Hopefully there's going to be a grid of them as well, and yeah, that'll be good to watch.
Yeah, and the 125 is that what you're running that Kelpie block on?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I rode it
cool.
on the practice day, and I did about 8 laps, and then blew the motor to pieces. So
you're kidding.
I've got a guy. He's actually on it right now. He's just finished building the engine, put it in the bike. He's fired it up. So we're just going to get the jetting right and all that, and take it out to a mate's place tomorrow afternoon, and pretty much run it in. And then I'm going to hold the thing wide open all Saturday, and hopefully she don't go bang again.
So you must have had it singing then.
Yeah, I didn't exactly have the gearing ideal for that track, and nor the jetting. And I did kind of know it, but I was having too much fun on it and wound it on for too long, and yeah, just nipped it up. But yeah, I've got all that sorted out now. So hopefully it's singing just as good before it went bang, and yeah, that'd be a bit of fun. That's going to be very competitive, those classes, that's for sure.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, it's you can't have done too much damage then if he's just turned it around. Was it just the piston and ring just nipped up a bit or something, or like did it trash the barrel, or what happened? Do you know?
No, we pulled it apart straight away. It was only sort of nipped up on a couple of places on the barrel, and sort of it didn't really score. It was a sort of like just a quick machine and a hone, and it would come up pretty decent. So I new set of piston rings, and threw the motor back on the bike, and you just sent me a video before of it idling. So it's running.
Yeah,
I'm going to try and keep it running over the weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah, fantastic. That sounds great. Yeah, I love the 125s. Mine's ready to pick up too, which is I'm happy about. But yeah, I'm not going to ride it. I'm just going to sell it, unfortunately. So I'm not happy about that. But anyway,
Yeah, fair enough. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you do. When I hear you talking about that and like the 125 Cup, which was up, where was that?
North Brisbane, I think it was.
Yeah, I sort of
Yeah.
going, oh, I'd love to do something like that on it because yeah, they are so much fun. They're so light, so quick. Yeah, just fun to ride.
Yeah, I was having an absolute ball on it, and I think that's half of my issue that I pushed it too hard when I was only all I want to do was sort of to check out to test out the tire that I got off there, and yeah, as far as I got, man, that thing grips up really nicely. Like I'm a big sort of V rubber fan, so I'm definitely I definitely choose those over most others. But yeah, when I put this tire on, I sort of took it easy at first, and then started pushing a bit more, and then when I really started winding it on, it held together great, and I was getting great drive out of it. So yeah, I'll definitely getting some more off you. That's for sure. That's definitely a good tire you got there.
Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know if you saw the Kelpie Live episode I put up the other day, and of the racing from Mildura, but yeah, our tyre was out the front, which made me pretty happy. So, and it's the first time that he had ever ridden on it too. So, yeah it was pretty good. And yeah, the guy that got second overall normally rides a Kelpie. He broke his collarbone riding on one though, so I think it's sort of made him a bit gun shy.
Right, okay, yeah.
Which is fair enough. So I totally get it. When I broke my collarbone, I was actually on one too, and yeah, I was a bit nervous to go back on it, to be honest. But it's not the tire. It was my suspension or myself, either my body weight or body position. I've made a mistake, So
yeah.
So anyway, I rode on my tire at a practice day a couple of weeks ago with 21.19 and. Oh yeah, she was hooking up. So yeah, any doubts or fear have definitely gone.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, I couldn't find anything that I found wrong with the tires. Like I said, I didn't do a hell of a lot of laps, so that there wasn't much wear on it at all. But yeah, you could tip it right over and get on the gas and feel comfortable with it without it doing anything unexpected. So yeah, no, I was happy with it, and I'll definitely be running the same tire on that bike. I don't see an issue. I don't see the need to run an 18-inch rear, or build an 18-inch rear wheel just to run something different when that tire definitely would do exactly what I needed to do. So yeah, it's definitely a money saver in that way for sure.
Yeah, awesome. And just so the listeners know, I'm not paying Northey to say that. That's his own words. We actually hadn't even talked about it until right now.
Yeah,
So
definitely not a paid advertisement.
There's no. Yeah, there's no freebies in it or anything behind it. Apart from that, he worked bloody hard to win it, actually. So, yeah, flog that like button is all Northey. That's now my saying. I say it on everything now. So, and I reckon it rips. I've been listening to lots of podcasts lately, and they go and smash that like button. I'm going, that's got nothing on flog that like button. Smash that like button. What a load of shit.
You got to flog the snot out of it.
You got to flog that baby. Awesome. So you got your classic titles. And then what's going on after that?
And then a week after that, we've got the Australian track titles in Raymond Terrace. So yeah, we've got a new clutch and everything coming for that one. So the bike will be fingers crossed in tip-top shape for that event, because that's going to be very heavily contested. There's a fair few riders showing up for that one, so there's going to be you need to be on your game for that for sure.
So Raymond Terrace, is that Barley Ranch or am I all upside down?
Yeah, that is Barley Ranch. That's about 2.5 hours north of Sydney, sort of just above the Central Coast. Just above Newcastle region. So it's around the Hunter region would probably be better to describe it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not too bad a trip. Well, how far is that for you? 2 hours, is it?
Yeah, about 2.5 hours,
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah. I think it's be about probably 12 from here. Yeah, about 12.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think we might actually have a rider going up there. I won't say her name just in case she hasn't entered, but I'm pretty sure they were.
Yeah.
So that would be good. I'll check in with that and give her a mention next time, and tell her to come say g'day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Anyone that comes out there, West Side Car 195, black and white sidecar, come over and say g'day, get a photo sitting on the bike or something like that. Yeah. Definitely don't be shy. I think Jobbo might have a couple of cans of Sended Energy in his esky there. You ask him nicely, he might give you one, but I can't make any promises. I almost get my hand bitten off and I try and reach in and grab a cup.
Yeah, but that's you. You guys, you're like an old married couple, aren't you, sidecar riders, when you have a team for a while together. So
you should have seen us on Saturday. We definitely weren't saying some kind words to each other when the first heat went downhill. So it's maybe pick your time to come say good day, as long as you're not yelling at each other or sort of throwing hands in the air. But definitely come over and say good day. It's good to see people interested in sidecars.
I just realised that you actually given Dave awesome publicity. You got to send a T-shirt on there. I hope he watches.
I literally got out of the shower and opened the cupboard and said, "Oh, that'll do." So that wasn't planned either.
Oh, you got to make sure he watches the episode and say, "Look, mate, I think I need some royalties here."
Well, the graphics kit I got for the 125 is a completely full Sended Ultra Energy graphics kit. So the only thing that's on the bike is just the race number on the front, and the whole thing's just Sended Energy. So I'm
awesome.
keen to get that graphics kit on and send him a photo and see what he reckons.
So I'm gonna hit you up here and now, since it's harder to say no when you're on camera. You're gonna do a Bali Ranch recap for us then,
mate? I would love to. I'll try and get as much information as I possibly can. Obviously, throughout the weekend, we'll be on and off the bike and doing what we can do to try and get on the podium. But I'll try and get as much info as I can, and hopefully, just like the Coffs Harbour Club, if they post the results and everything, if I can't get a hold of it or find out any, that'd be fantastic. And I can sort of I'd love to do a recap on Barley Ranch. And 2 weeks after that, we're at Kempsey for the Kubra Classic. So
nice.
Get some info on that as well. If you want a recap on that one, I'm more than happy to jump on and give you some info.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually, just sold a 19 front to someone in Kempsey, which I imagine that's probably what it's for. Awesome.
Well, that's a hard oil track. So if they're running a 19-inch class, then definitely for sure. But that's a hard oil surface.
Yeah, I got 4th in the 19-inch class there last year. And, and 3rd in the vets.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think we got 3rd in the sidecars on that one.
Yeah, it's an awesome track. Yeah, I really like it.
It's fast, especially on a passenger. It's definitely very, very quick.
Yeah, as you know, being there, it had rained the day before, and I might have even been in the morning a little bit, and they put the magic carpet around and, dried it all off. And
squeegeed the track,
Squeegeed the track, and I'd never seen that before because I did Gunnedah and Temora, but I mean, that was in fine weather and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't know that's how they dealt with a wet oil track. And then we got into practice and racing, and I don't know if you remember what the start line was like. So the first 20 or 30 meters was pretty challenging. It was hard to stay in the straight line. And,
I was definitely sitting right on the back of the sidecar there to try and dig through it or try and whisk that away. But no one was really getting off the line and getting a good jump unless they, some freakishly way got a clean patch and got away from that one. But even down in the pit corner, it sort of started to develop like sort of breaking waves, not so much breaking bumps. And I'm kind of glad that they tended to that a lot, because on a sidecar with no suspension, especially a passenger that's on like a timber platform, you get flogged around a lot. And that's
apparently those bumps are there all the time.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I've only been to Kempsey a handful of times, but that's the first time I've noticed them like that. But I dare say if that might be a reoccurring sort of problem. But yeah, it was definitely challenging.
Or maybe Jobbo was riding around them the last time. This time he had.
Well, I thought one of the riders that was a Kai Frame and Mick, they sort of went through the bumps and Mick got thrown over the front. So it was if you went through it, it was definitely violent, and it wasn't as fast as you do go into that bottom stop corner there. You want to have consistent braking because it just seems like you're just going to go off the end of the track if you can't slow down quick enough.
Yeah, no, it's pretty nasty going down there, and it didn't really bother me because I guess I'm more of a loose track rider, and we get braking bumps and where people are changing down and that sort of stuff, and it gets pretty rough. So it didn't really bother me, but yeah, I heard a few people sort of complaining about it and stuff, and it's like, well, it's hard oil. It's not like they can just go around and grade it off and
No, that's
fix
exactly
it up.
right. Yeah.
So it is what it is. You either ride around it or you take which was the fastest line going straight through the bumps, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But the same with the start line at the start of the day when it was super slick. I heard some of the fast guys complaining, "Oh, that's terrible, it's dangerous, and they can't get off the line." And it's just don't put as much power down. It's just like you've got to adapt. That's what makes a good rider, is being able to adapt. I found it quite interesting. I'd never really seen people act like that, and
probably leveled the playing field having the start like that, because sort of if you've got a high horsepower bike, it's sort of if you didn't help you, and if you had someone that's a lot smoother on the throttle and the clutch, and you sort of get the bike to move in a consistent way, you're not just lighting the tire up, you're actually pushing past it. So it could have been beneficial for some guys that weren't really getting the start.
Definitely helped me. I got some good starts. I got overtaken afterwards, but I still got some good starts and learn a bit, learn about the track a bit. And by the sort of, middle to the end of the meeting, or getting near the end of the meeting, I was starting to realise I can go a lot harder now. And actually, was actually getting great starts and not doing too bad. And got into the repecharge. I didn't make it straight into the final. I think it was 450. Got into the repecharge, was in second, and unfortunately got knocked off or laid it down.
No.
Depends how political we're going to get here and that after the bumps in that hard left there. So the guy that came around me and hit my arm, both of us went down. Luckily, if he stayed on, I would have been pissed off. But we both went down, so neither of us got to go through, and the guy behind us did. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, you got to be there to capitalise. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And I sort of just lived with it and went, because I'm not really one to protest and that sort of thing. And then we watched the final, and the guy that actually basically got got second in the repecharge, he actually did all right because it was a 10-lapper, and after about lap 5, some of the faster guys obviously hadn't been working on their fitness and started dropping back a bit. So he got a couple spots, and I was thinking, well, yeah, we were killing it. Definitely would have, and my fitness was definitely up at that stage. So, yeah, who knows where it would have got, So, it's right. Sort of frustrating, but, it's too late, isn't it? It's not. Once it's happened, it's happened. And
that's it. But
I was keen to come up. Actually, we did want to come up. Brendan's really keen to go there as well because he raced there when he was a kid and hasn't raced there since. Okay. And we've both been enjoying the oil racing. It is. I like it because it's so different. I really enjoy motard, but I'm too Dutch to go in and pay for motard days. So oil's pretty close.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, oil racing's pretty good. Yes, all right. You're going to be doing heaps of travelling. Pretty
much. As soon as I finish work Friday afternoon, it's everything's either loaded into the van or loaded in the cars, and off we go. Head out to the track as soon as we can, and then as soon as the racing's done on Sunday, if we don't get on the podium, we sort of straight back on the road again to go back home, get ready for work on Monday morning. So yeah, it's definitely interesting, and it definitely takes a lot of your weekends up. But I can't see anything else that I'd be doing. It'd just be sitting at home doing nothing really.
Yeah, no, I like the sound of it. It's the racer's dream, I reckon, and yeah, you're living it and enjoying it, and yeah, I appreciate you being excited about coming on the pod and being willing to you know in the very little spare time you have at the track, have a look around and try to get some stats for us and some info. So yeah, really appreciate that. It's good because as we all know, nowhere is really close in Aussie. Everywhere's, well, definitely if you're a racer in Victoria, everywhere's 5 hours plus, it feels like. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I appreciate that you're giving us that info since I can't always get up there.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to do it at any event that I go to. If you want my thoughts and insights, some people may not, but well, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and you know, if you didn't put your hand up, we wouldn't be getting it. So yeah, no, it's awesome. And
No worries at all.
yeah, hopefully one day we'll have an unlimited budget and I can just come and attend them all myself.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
But
Yeah,
you know, we're still would definitely have a recap pod, I reckon.
Exactly right. It'll probably be me and you arguing, saying, "No, it didn't happen like that. It happened like this, and he didn't do that. He did this." But at least it'll be entertaining content, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you know, 4 eyes are better than two, or 2 sets of eyes are better than one. However you want to, whichever way you want to do the math. I was thinking that sounds a bit weird, but yeah, you all pick up different things. You know, like I think for the growth of our sport, you know, like commentating and having businesses bring some products to the track. Admittedly, I didn't do it for Appen, but it was mainly because I wasn't in my own vehicle for a start. We were carpooling, and I wasn't racing. Brendan was racing. We needed rooms for the 2 pit shades, for the 2 Kelpie pit shades rather than just one. You know, there's lots of factors that came into it. But yeah, that's what I'm sort of... funnily enough, I bought a old caravan frame for a slab of beer a year ago. It's actually getting close to a year and a half. And it's still... I stripped it, so it's all pulled down. But it's at my mate's where who I bought it off. And yeah, we've just got to build that sucker up, because when I build that up, obviously then you'll have a lot more room for a lot more stuff, and yeah, be able to bring a display with us. And is that your boss again?
Yeah, no, that's all right. It's ignored. He's already got the information he needs. I'm off the clock.
Yeah, ring back tomorrow, but preferably between, what time do you work? 8 and 5 or something like that?
No, well, actually, I've got 2 jobs. Well, I've got 4 jobs, but yeah, no, I normally drive trucks during the day and work the Yamaha during the night. So I've got tonight off. Yeah, considering I've been pretty much working in the last 4 weeks straight. So
yeah, right.
I definitely said to him, I've got tonight off, and he's like, "Oh, I might need you to send me something out." And I was like, and yeah, I knew he was going to, but yeah, no, he can wait till the morning now.
Yes, yeah, actually, after the last pod we were talking, and yeah, you've got your iron and a few fires, and you like to keep busy, but we're a bit similar actually in that sort of respect. Like to take on too much stuff. You're telling me about skateboards. Do you still do that? The skateboard business?
Yeah, definitely still do that. Yeah, when before COVID happened, I was just driving trucks and doing bits and pieces here and there, and nothing major. And then when COVID happened, the guy I was working for sort of said, "I'm selling all the trucks and I'm moving to Morton Island. So you either come with me or you got to find something different." So I was like in a panic, and then really couldn't do a hell of a lot when COVID kicked off. So I looked into sort of importing skateboard decks, and then started doing my own graphics and everything for them, and then it just that pretty much took off from there. So bought a digital printer and a laminator and a vinyl cutter and all those things. And so yeah, make the designs and graphics for the skateboards on that, and also do sign writing too. So yeah, during the day I drive trucks for a friend's company, and then at night I work for Yamaha doing bits and pieces for them. And then yeah, when I get spare time, I sort of do graphics for skateboard decks and make a few signs for some people.
Yeah, awesome. So well, I didn't actually think about this before, but so were you doing your own graphic kits for your bikes as well?
This one I wasn't because I didn't have the rights for the logo and whatever else. So I got another guy that Matt from Moto Kit that does our graphics for the sidecar. I sort of sent to him what I wanted, and then yeah, he sort of printed them off and sent them back down, which I just got this afternoon. So I'm gonna have to put all them on tomorrow, and hopefully it looks half decent and nothing's crooked.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. And the skateboard stuff, that's going all right. Like you're selling a few and got a bit of interest.
Yeah, definitely. At the start, I was just sort of doing custom stuff for mates, and just sort of like a shits and giggles thing. And at the end of it, I sort of went and spoke to a few skate shops. Like each year, we go down to a place called Sussex Inlet to go for holidays for a couple of weeks, and a few mates come down with me, and went to a skate shop in Ulladulla and spoke to him, and he was interested to see what we did, and I brought a few boards down, and he just keeps asking for more and more. And there's a couple of skate shops up the Central Coast as well that I send boards to, and I don't exactly do the graphics firsthand for them. I get the company that manufactures the boards to put the graphic on and send it to them. Because if I get them to send it to me and then do the graphics and then send it to the skate shops, I'm kind of double handling, double posting, and it's kind of it gets a bit difficult when they start going, oh, can we get 30 boards? I'm like, yeah, when do you want to buy? They're like, oh, now. And you're like, oh, wait, okay. It's sort of, you're in a mad rush, and yeah, a lot of things get pushed aside. So I sort of just try and do the custom stuff for the people that I know and people that ask me personally. And I try and go down to the skate park and give them the board and then go for a skate with them. And sort
Awesome.
of, yeah, it's good. There's a couple of skate parks around my area where, yeah, I've got met a lot of friends through there. So, yeah, it's fantastic. It's just a good another social aspect to get involved in.
Yeah, so that's something you've done for a long time, skateboarding?
Yeah, I did since I was a kid. I skated till I was about 21, and then I didn't skate for maybe 7 or 8 years. It's pretty much when I got into racing dirt track, I sort of pushed skateboarding aside, not unintentionally, but yeah, sort of goes on the back burner. And then, yeah, I think pretty much when I came back from America, I was sort of injured and sort of slowly getting my way back into racing again. And then just started skating. And then, yeah, when COVID ruined everything, I thought, oh, well, I might as well bite the bullet and try and do something like that. And yeah, it's kicked off and went fantastic. And it is still going good.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, it's something you know, and you're pulling on your experience from your past and turning it into something that can make you a bit of money. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much Kelpie, that's the same sort of deal. So
Yeah,
just
okay, yeah, right.
use some of your knowledge and see if you can make it bring in some cash and keep me racing and keep me going to the track, give me a reason to go to the track. It works it works out really well. So
yeah, no, that's fantastic.
yeah, what was I going to say? Oh shit, I've already forgotten.
Did you want to get into the next class for the state titles?
Yeah, is there still more? I thought we were finished.
No, sorry. There's I think there's another 6 or 7 classes to go. I apologise. Yeah.
Oh right,
The
for sure.
65cc, 7 and 9 years, and 9 to 13 years. They did combine this class, but they scored them separately. In the 65, 7 to 9 years, first place was Lucy Heaton New. Second place was Kobe Willis, and third place was Braxton Layton. Yeah, those kids ran fantastic, and they're also in the it combined with the 9 to 13-year-old 65cc class. And the winner of that was Hugo Holmes. Second place was Jed King, and third place was Ryder Sproul. Hugo Holmes actually just come back from America after racing the amateur nationals in Decoy, so he's always impressive at nearly every track that I've seen him race at, and I don't think I've ever seen him race and not be on the podium in every race or at the end of the event. So he's if he continues the path that he's going now, he's definitely going to be a force to reckon with when he gets up to the higher end of juniors, and as well when he comes into seniors. He's yeah, definitely got a backing. His mum and dad are lovely people. They're out from Gunnedah way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was congratulations to Hugo, Jet, and Ryder on their podiums for the 65 class.
Yeah, awesome. And just while we're talking about Hugo, he killed it over in the States, didn't he? He did he get a couple titles in the amateur nationals?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got a number one plate, which is the overall in the 65 class. I'm pretty sure Hugo and his family did a Tom Drain and packed up all their bike in a suitcase and esky and all that and carted it over there. And yeah, he got the prestigious number one AMA plate. So yeah, that was awesome to see because there's a couple of mates of mine that do race in America. Well, obviously, they are Americans, and sort of said, "Oh, who's these kids with yellow and green leathers on?" I said, "Oh, well, there's the young fellas from Australia that come over and race." And I go, "Why is that?" And they go, "Geez, they're fast." And I was like, "Yeah, they go all right." And I said, "Why is that?" And he goes, "Yeah, us boys don't have much for them, but yeah, it was definitely a good experience for those kids to go over and battle with yeah, the best juniors in America."
Yeah, they're so lucky, those kids. I hope they appreciate how lucky they are to get to do that. That's massive experience for someone that age to be able to go to a different country. Well, I suppose you would say America is, the bee's knees of flat track, isn't it, really? So
yeah, it definitely is, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty amazing experience for them to get to go over there and race in one of the biggest flat track events of the world, really. Yeah, especially for amateurs as well. It would be the biggest amateur event in the world for flat track, I think. And one of the things I talked to Jed Fife about was the indoor because something that I'm a bit fixated on, as you know from the last one. You're quite interested in that. And yeah, I don't think it's for everyone, but I just like that short, punchy stuff for some reason.
Yeah, well, I was actually speaking to a friend of mine, Dylan Moore, and he had his birthday the other day. I'm trying to think exactly where he's from in America, but he raced a few indoors, but he was explaining that the surface they put on the concrete tracks is like a Coke syrup, and then they run a piece of carpet as like your steel shoe.
Yeah,
and I thought that was interesting, and I sort of understood the concept of it and whatever else, but I see a lot of videos of Corey Tex's young fella Cruz sort of on one of those electric Stasic bikes looks like their basement of their house, sort of
in the basement
around, and I thought that's one of the coolest things. Like that kid's already got the style of his father, and he's winning everything too in his category. So yeah, I dare say you'll see him in the AMA Pro Championship in the near future as well.
You never know. He's got to get through that discovering girls stage. Puberty and all that first.
Yeah, well, he's got the usually the kids. I know his grandfather and his dad and his auntie are fantastic racers. So I'm pretty sure he'll stay well glued to that path.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the other syrup they use is Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper syrup. Yeah.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
Is that the same as cola? I've never had a Dr. Pepper. Is it different?
It's how do you explain it? I'll find a can for you and you can taste it. Some people absolutely hate it, but yeah, some people actually really enjoy it. It's definitely an acquired taste. I haven't had it for many years, so I can't exactly explain what it's like, but it's definitely different. It's definitely a different taste.
Rightio. So 65 class done. What was next?
Yeah. Next is the flat track twins. There was 6 in those. Unfortunately, there was a couple of riders in that also raced the pre-90 class that had an accident and couldn't complete the weekend. But Daniel Wicks was the winner of that one, and Kenny Angel was second, and Philip Crawl come third. That was good. I actually spoke to one of the fellas of the Harley racing team. There was 3 guys out there on sort of factory XG 750 Harley flat trackers, and they looked unreal, and they're out there having a ball and had their big Harley Davidson quick shade out, and yeah, they look very professional and really nice to talk to. Really, really welcoming guys, and yeah, the machines were unreal. That was sort of brought back a few memories. A little bit different though at the XR750 that I'd ridden over there, but yeah, it still looked cool as hell.
And what about speed? Were they looking pretty quick?
Well, Kenny Angel was on his CR500, and he was in front of the three Harleys there. But I understand how hard them things are to sort of ride hard and consistently. But yeah, they were motoring pretty hard for what they had underneath them. That's for sure.
So that was in the pre-90s class, was it?
Sorry, that was in the flat track twins class. I've got my classes. I've got these classes mixed up. I'm sorry. Kenny Angel won that one. Justin Steele got second, and Murray Pedley got third. Sorry, I got that mixed up with the pre-90s. I know.
And pre-90s, Wixie got first, was it?
Sorry, Wixie won that one. Kenny Angel got second, and Philip Kroll got third in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking, I didn't know Daniel Wicks had a twin.
Yeah, no, I do apologise for that. It was right next to each other, and I saw the headline for flat track twins, and then looked at the pre-90s for some reason. But yeah, you can tell.
That's all right. I actually owe. No. It happens so easily. While we're apologising, I have to apologise to Thomas Herrick because I said Jared Brook was chasing Wixie in the I've got to stop saying in the Pro 450 final at Appen, but it was it was Thomas Herrick. It wasn't Jared Brook. Jared got 6, I think it was, in that one on the TT.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But they had close matching gear. I think you know how the riders, the sort of top riders tend to do it a lot. They put clean gear on for the next day, and I must have just had my old man hat on, got a bit confused or something.
yeah, definitely.
But when I was making the first Kelpie Live, that's when the penny dropped, and I went, oh, shit! I think I said on the pod that it was Jared Brook chasing Daniel Wicks and putting all the pressure on, but it was Thomas Herrick. So sorry, Tom.
The bikes were looking fairly well. They're both on Huskies, and I think the graphics were fairly similar too. So, and Matt's 414 and Thomas Herrick's 14. So, it's probably hard to sort of decipher who's who half the time when they're coming past you so fast.
Mate, you've got a permanent job. You've got my back. I like it. That's awesome. Defending me. Oh, fantastic. So what was
like I say, if I butcher any of your names or anything like that or anything, I just, give me time. I'll get it. And if I don't, you can crucify me in the comments at the end of it. I'll only laugh anyway.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so what do we have next? So that was pre-90s and twins. It was cool that they included a twins class, actually.
Yeah, it was definitely. Kenny Angel was out there on his
Ducati Monster.
His Ducati, and that thing's an absolute. It's a rocket. I pitted next to him in the pain for the plug to stay, and just hearing that thing fire up just sounds like it just wants to chew you up and spit you out. And he definitely handles that thing really well. He's very smooth on it, and very consistent, and he does well every time he gets out on track.
Yeah, did you ever see the footage from Bloke's World for the Bathurst?
Yeah, I saw part 1. I haven't seen part 2. I don't know why I hadn't, because supposedly we were in that a lot more. But I saw the first one.
Yeah, I think there's actually three episodes or so.
Okay, yep.
I can't remember. You can find them on on Seven Mate online if you want to have a look. And you can see the Ducati Monster on there, and they have a bit of a chat to it's Addo, isn't it? He has a bit of a chat to Kenny Angel. So that's pretty cool. That Ducati Monster flies, and they're a really good engine actually. One of my daughter's ex-boyfriends had one, and I didn't get to have a go on it, but they sounded good. I reckon.
Actually, Kenny and I were on the phone yesterday talking about the classic titles coming up this weekend. So he's I'm pretty sure he's got that thing coming out as well. I'm not 100% sure, but if he brings it out the track, he definitely will do well.
Yeah, I hope to see a few more twins happening in Australia, and I'm definitely looking at getting one and turning it into a flat tracker. So there's The great thing with them is there's lots of, they're actually quite affordable. Like, as you know, with flat track racing, you don't have to go the newest and greatest machine. You know, you can go something a little bit older, and yeah, you can pick something up for depending on what your budget is to make improvements on it and to turn, change the wheels and all that sort of thing. But you can pick something up for around 2.5, 3 grand and make a conversion out of it, pretty easily. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking at doing. And probably 2024 now. The twins class for AFTN is next month, so I don't think I'll get one done that quickly. But
no, well, last year I did the AFTN. I did the Wagga round and the Appin round, and there was a fair few twins out there on that one. And Dad mentioned to me, he said, "Oh, why don't we build a sort of 650 Triumph and take it out there, just another sort of bike in the class and something to ride around." And I was half sort of, oh yeah, maybe, but it's definitely more come out of the woodworks, and there's more events for them. I don't see why we couldn't throw one together and chuck some 19s on it and hopefully keep it on 2 wheels.
There's no hopefully about it, mate. You'll be all right.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've been training a hell of a lot harder, but I need to spend more time on the bike. So that's why, this weekend I'm doing a handful of rides.
Yeah, well, that's the key, isn't it? Seat time definitely helps a lot. I think you can overdo it too, though. So you need that nice balance, like everything in life. So what was the next class? Have we ran out yet?
No, we've done the flat track 19s. We sort of talked about it, but we didn't get to the results. No, did we get to the results on that one? Sorry,
I think you did say it, but say it again anyway.
Sorry. First place was Reed, 87. Second place was Daniel Wicks, and third place was Christian O'Donnell. And that was good to see a full grid of those.
Oh.
I think fourth place was Tyler O'Donnelly, fifth place was Mackenzie Booth, and sixth place was Darren Webb. Don't quote me on fourth, fifth, and sixth. That's what I've got written down. That was good to see that there was a full grid of those. And I dare say if they run that as an Aussie title or a state title class, you'll get more than enough to fulfill that class. Yeah,
well, we would definitely turn up at a title for it, an Aussie title. For sure. So that would, I'd have to put the camera down and come and throw some laps, I reckon.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do the same thing as well, as long as it wasn't back to back with the sidecars or anything like that. If they spaced it a little bit away so I can catch my breath before Jobbo slings me around the track, I'd be more inclined to do it. It's just, I just don't want to burn myself out for one or the other.
Yeah, it's so tricky, isn't it? It's not easy for the clubs when they're planning the race order and that, because you do have guys racing in multiple classes, and you can't please everyone, unfortunately. It's sort of like you're saying about. I was going to say it's sort of like you're saying about the meetings clashing. It's like task impossible, really.
Yeah. Well, this weekend my first 3 races of the day is my 3 races. So, and then after sort of the rest of the round is a little bit more spread out. So for the first 3 rounds of heat racing, I've got back to back races. So it's 250 sidecar, 125, and I'm lucky I've got a couple of people come with me, like Dad and Yankee Steve, to push a bike up on the start line, give me a mouthful of water, and then smack me on the back of the head and tell me to give it hell.
A mouthful of water? Don't you mean a can of Send It?
Oh, mate, I don't know if I'd be able to hold it down if it was a can of Send It between races. I think I'd be holding my breath more than anything.
Just to please your sponsor, just put coconut water in the can. Like, drink the first one, and then the rest can be coconut water.
You could do that as well. But no, Send It actually tastes really nice. I'd be more inclined to be drinking that than anything else.
Yeah, beauty. All right, so we've had the 19s.
The next class is the 254 stroke, which is the junior 254 stroke, 13 to under 16. And in that was, where are we? I just had it right in front of me. What have I done? Thor and Openshaw got the win. Talon Cardinal was second, and William second got third. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but the future of our sport's looking good with riders like that coming through. Jaden Holder was also in that class as well, and unfortunately he had an accident, and I think he broke his collarbone. So I hope you heal up, mate. You're definitely riding the pants off that bike, and all the other competitors as well that was in that class. You definitely put on a show, and can't wait for you guys to come up to seniors and see what you can do in that class.
Yeah, best wishes to all the riders actually that have got injured. No one likes hearing it or seeing it. Well, some people like seeing the crashes, but don't really think about the riders' personal status afterwards. But anyone that races the sport definitely doesn't want to see that. And I saw the pictures of Jaden online, and he looked pretty banged up. So speedy recovery, mate. What do we got up next?
85 two-stroke, 154 stroke, 9 to 13 years, the juniors. First place in that was Levi Layton. Second place was Hugo Holmes, and third place was Jed Lewis. And again, those three guys sort of stood out throughout that class throughout the weekend. They were definitely out in front, and it was good to see that they had good to see supporting a senior meeting as well.
Yeah, right. So is that all our classes, is it?
Yeah, he got a couple more. Sorry. Yeah, a couple more.
No.
Pro 250s, there was 2 grids in that. There was definitely some fast riders in that. Cody Lewis, I'm trying to think if it was him, and I'm 90% sure it was him. No, sorry, it was Rory McQualter.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, he held that thing flat coming around that sweeping turn there, and that was unreal to see. It was it was definitely very, very fast on that bike, and he got the win, and Cody Lewis got second, and Grant Charnock got third. And it was good to see Grant Charnock was on Jaden Holder's bike, and he did very well. I've raced against Grant Charnock a fair few times, and I actually watched him race at Blaney for one of the first open meetings I ever did, and he's one of the riders that look up to. I'm not sure if he's older than me. I don't think he is, but he definitely stood out with his signature leathers that he wears, and and he's riding the 392 in memory of Michael Vecchi, which definitely warms my heart. And he's wearing a jumper, a memorial, and remembrance to him as well. So I've got to send Grant a message, and hopefully I can get hold of one of those.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and Mike Vicky passed away. Was it 12 months ago already, wouldn't it be? Or maybe more.
Yeah, it was at Corindi Long Track last year, which I think it might have been the state titles. I'm not sure, but it was, Corindi Long Track that happened. Yeah, unfortunately, he had an incident on a sidecar, and that was definitely a very sad day. I couldn't make it to that meeting, but I know the people who were there, and there was that was devastating. Mick Vecchi was one of the nicest guys you'd see on the track, and he was a talented rider, and it definitely hurts me. Knowing what happened then, but we all go into this sport knowing that things like this may happen, and you've just sort of got to try and be prepared for whatever comes in front of you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is the dark side of the sport, I guess, and we try not to focus on it and talk about it too much, but it doesn't mean we don't know that it exists. And it's sad to see a rider go that way, and hopefully, touching wood, we don't have any or too many more in the near future. But so we'll move along from that one.
Yeah, the next one was the ATV Open. There was 2 grids in that one as well. 90% sure it was the same people in the ATV 450s, but Matthew Griffiths got the win in that. Jeffrey McKee got second, and Chevy Green got third. And there was definitely a good battle in the repechage between a couple of riders. I think it might have been between Chevelle Green and Colin Green. I think they were banging bars to try and get themselves into the final position of the win the repechage to the final position of the final. So it was good to see them guys battling it out.
And so, what sort of CC range do they have in those ATVs? Do they have 350s, 250s?
Well, I'm not 100% sure exactly what engines they do run, but I know the 450 class. I'm pretty sure they run the same engines as we do. But this ATV Open says up to 550cc two-stroke and 700cc four-stroke.
Holy
So I had
right.
a friend of mine that had a 660 Raptor, and I had to go at that down a beach, and I think I rode it for about 200 meters and come back, and very unpolitely told him that he can have his bike back, and I walked the opposite direction, and I thought that I've ridden some pretty wild things, but that thing was definitely almost ripped my arms out of my shoulders, and I just thought I will kill myself on this thing. So that's not for me.
Is the Raptor, is that a Yamaha Raptor?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
And this thing had more work done to it than a top fueler, I can tell you. So yeah, it was definitely a handful to ride. But yeah, those guys seem to know how to pedal it around fairly well, and they were fairly fast. And it would have been good to see what their lap times were compared to the 450s as well, because they were moving. I dare say possibly just as quick. But we'll try and check it out in the next meeting.
Yeah, well, my neighbour's son actually had a Husqvarna quad 450, I think it was, and he came out on our track, and it's absolute beast. Like, you'd sort of think, it would be a bit slower, being like you say, the same motor, but with four wheels, you'd think it's heavier and that, but it still seemed to hook up like anything. Yeah, he's really quick on it too. I think he did off-road racing on it and that, and yeah, that was the sort of first time I've seen one of those race ones up close.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
But they're pretty impressive. I'm sort of curious. Like, I've been on a kids one and I was hanging that sideways pretty good, and I was sort of curious. But yeah, like I said, no one races them down here, so what's the point?
Yeah. Well, that's right. I think there's a couple of guys from down that way that come up to most of the meetings up here. I'm not 100% sure of their name. I think maybe Matthew Griffiths might be, or Jeff McKee might be from down your way, but I'd only be guessing if that's for sure. I'm just trying to see if there's any other riders here that do stand out from any other
Matthew Griffiths
meeting that I've done, but I don't think so. No.
Yeah, Matthew Griffiths sounds familiar, but I'm not sure why. I'm not sure. Does he ride two wheels as well?
I'm not 100% sure. I didn't see him in the program in any of the classes. He may do, but I think I've seen him at a fair few meetings prior. But I'm not 100% accurate on that one.
Yeah, all good. So ATV Open.
I read out the results for that one. And the last one was the Pro 450, which I think we've already gone through that.
Yeah, Caution Wheel got that one, followed by
Daniel Wicks and then Cody Lewis in third.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which are all extremely fast guys. You'd expect them to be up there battling. So yeah, awesome. Sounds like everyone had a fantastic weekend, and it sounds like it went down well.
No, it was really good. It was I hadn't been to that track since 2015. I think it's the last time they ran a title there, and it poured down rain. So I think we got sort of halfway through day one, and then we come back for day two, and it got the whole meeting got pulled. So didn't get to do a hell of a lot of laps down there, and that was the dirt track side of it. So I'm definitely keen to get up there if the opportunity arises to take the 450 out there and have a good run.
Yeah, and do you know much about that club? Do they normally just run club days? Do they have an inter-club championship that they do during the year? Do you know any of that sort of info?
No, I'm not 100% sure if they weren't running for a little while for whatever reason. I don't know the ins and outs of it, or if that was actually true. But I remember someone saying that the club is back up and running again, and they're going to start hosting events or whatever else. I know there's a lot of work that's got done on the venue because they've got a motocross track there as well, and I think also a go-kart track too that I sort of saw when I was coming in. But if last weekend was a representation of anything with their club, that they're definitely going strong. It's, the way they had it all organised and the way they had it all set it up was, it was really good. Yeah, it was definitely a challenging track, but they all can't be perfect. But no, it was really good the way they run it, and the promoter ran everything as well, and how it was all organised, and the people at the gates with scrutineering and the flag marshals and the starting things. It all ran smooth and consistent, so they did a very, very good job. I was impressed.
Yeah, did they charge an admission fee to get in, did they, or?
Not for the riders. I think I'm not 100% sure for the spectators. If anything, it might have been sort of $10 or something like that to get in to watch the racing. There was a fair few people on the hill for both days as well. I didn't really see much on the Saturday, but there's a fair few people there on the Sunday, and anyone that I sort of had a quick word to, whatever else, all seemed to enjoy the racing, and it was really good. It was a good weekend considering that we didn't go so great.
Yeah, and it's funny, how much you actually miss when you're a racer, like going to the event and you get involved in making sure you don't miss a heat and getting your bike sorted, even if everything goes smoothly. You seem to miss a lot of the detail. Like, you've actually got a lot of details from the event, but like you just said before, I didn't really notice on Saturday how many people were on the hill, because you're fully invested in your racing and concentrating on, making sure you guys get out there and fix. You probably have bike problems and chains that you're putting back on, and that by the sound of it,
a lot more than that, but
trying to patch up a coolant leak and all that sort of, chase it and that sort of stuff. So, but it's just, I don't know, it is mind blowing how much you actually miss. And like, I remember, where was it? So I can't even remember the event now, but driving back from one of the events that we traveled 10 or 13 hours to get there, did the event, then we're coming back, and I actually must have been with Mum. It might have been actually the Cooper Classic or something like that, and I said to her, "Oh, was there much going on around the track?" I can't remember. Were there any stalls, or was there commentating? Like, even missing the fact that someone might have been calling the races, because it's just, I don't know, it's bizarre how sort of focused you get on the actual racing, and everything else around it just becomes a blur.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're trying to see what gates you are in the next race and how many races till you're up, and things like that. Yeah, you are correct. Like, I do like sitting on the hill and watching the racing, but there's definitely nothing like being behind that start gate when they flip that 10 to 5 second boards, and your drone goes through the roof, and when the gates drop, the bullshit stops. It's all fun.
Did they have some good looking chick in tight clothes with the 10-second board, or was it an old guy with a beard?
He wasn't an old guy with a beard, but he definitely had some character. Way he sort of ran his finger across the grid and then held the board and then flipped it up like that, and then everyone's heads went down, and that was sort of me being on the side of the sidecar. I sort of sit behind Jobbo and hold onto it. I normally put my head over his right shoulder, and then out the corner of my eye, I can see him sort of dancing around, flipping the board. And then that's when I look at the gate. I don't know why I look at the gate, but I look at the gate, and then when that goes, it was definitely good. Sometimes the people holding the 10-second board get a little too creative, and it sort of distracts you. But no, it was good. He did very well.
You've got to look at the start gate, because how will you know to yell at him if he fucks it up?
Well, no, because everyone else will take off, and we're still sitting there held up against the gate. There's been a couple of times I've given him a whack saying, "Come on, big boy, let's get this thing moving." I've got to try and psych him up, but he psyched himself up. He's definitely on the ball with that. He's real good.
Awesome, dude. Well, thanks so much for spending time with us. I know we all know now that you've got a shitload going on and that you've got a lot to get organised. Safe racing in the next few weekends, and we'll catch up with you for the Aussie titles recap. That would be awesome. And we'll get a quick recap on your classic titles as well while you're at it.
Not a problem at all. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
No, that'd be fantastic. Cheers, dude.
All right, see you, mate.
Go, Trekker. Go, Flat Trekker. Go, go, go.